Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cosmic Closet Podcast. Home of news that wants to be discussed, home of news that needs to be discussed, and home of news that will be discussed. Joining me today are two of the co-hosts. We have Jacob.
Hello there.
And we have Casey.
Hello.
How's everyone doing?
Pretty good, pretty good.
I'm doing fantastic. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes just got an update.
Oh, still plugging it, huh?
I need to stop.
Sponsor Jacob.
Yeah, let's get a sponsorship for this guy.
Make me a game changer, EA.
So,
what that is.
Come on. In other news, it's our 10th episode of the Cosmic Closet Podcast. It's pretty big news.
Yay!
Confetti.
Wow. What the hell? So, time has really flown by. What do you guys think of how far we've really come?
Considering the last, 3 episodes have been in the span of a week, not that surprised.
It's been like the span of 2 or 3 weeks.
I think it's been pretty good.
I'm happy. We're
Okay.
going through with this.
Dang. I think we're making progress. We gain at least 1 subscriber each one.
We're gonna gain 1,000 after we expose these theories, dude. We're gonna have to go into witness protection.
Most likely.
Alright, let's get into, first of all, the weekly update, huh?
Sounds good.
So,
Yeah.
the weekly update so far, they had XX Tentacion was murdered in Florida, but I think I heard today that they found the gunman. I didn't even know he was still on the loose. This guy was out for 2 or 3 days just running around.
Do you have an image of this man?
Yeah, I put it up. It's like a fan art.
Oh, man, I meant the shooter.
No, I don't have one of the shooter, no. I can't remember his name. They released it. He just got arrested a couple hours ago.
Was it another SoundCloud rapper who did it?
Ooh, some beef.
I don't know. Did he have beef before?
Dude, he beat his girlfriend, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
He had
come
beef
on.
with everybody. Everybody.
Those are just allegations, but I mean, he's actually hit his girlfriend.
He's gotten his ass beat on stage.
Yeah, he didn't. He got shot. That's completely different.
Yeah, well.
All right. So
Things
yeah,
escalate, my
rest
friend.
in peace to him. He had a lot of fans. His music, I wasn't really. I mean, I never heard his music that much, but Alex and all of them said it was something. I'm sure it was. He was on the rise. He was only 20. He's like our age.
Dang.
So that is sad.
Mm.
And then kind of
Yeah.
going away from that, we have Trump's Space Force, and I just saw this today. Russia is now warning us that if we build a Space Force and break the international treaty, they're going to be pissed. And they warn us that there's going to be a tough response.
Oh,
What kind of thing would we even do, though? We don't have military grade freaking spaceships or anything like that.
That's why they would be building that. That's why he ordered it.
Damn.
Okay. Going off that, and then now we have all this talk about kids being separated at the border, and I have no idea about this stuff. I haven't looked too much into it. All I know is that he signed something yesterday that would allow them to stay together, but now the Democrats hate that. So we'll just see. It's supposed to be voted on in Congress, and we'll see where that goes. You guys have any thoughts?
Not really.
I don't really care. Do you?
I don't know much about it.
I was referencing Melania Trump's jacket.
I saw that, dude. What was that about?
Wait, what was that?
She wore a jacket today that said, "I don't really care." And did it say "Do you" at the end?
Yeah.
Dang.
I don't know.
She wore that jacket I read that she wore it on the plane to Texas, and she didn't
Oh,
actually wear it in front of the people. So, if that's true, classic media.
if it's not true, then that's a wow.
Yeah. I
So,
doubt that'd be true though. Like,
wouldn't you think someone in the White House would be like, hey, maybe you should put on a different jacket before you go see these kids?
literally anybody standing next to her would have said something.
I have no idea.
Photoshop.
Oh, come on.
No, they've commented on it and stuff.
All right, let's get into it. So today we're discussing, in honor of our 10th episode, we're going to be listing and covering 10 popular conspiracy theories from all over the world, not just U.S. But we're only covering and discussing these theories. What we say does not endorse them. We're not saying we're believers. It's just like a, what would you call this? Like a surface level?
Yeah, we're just like
Just talking about it.
just information.
Yeah. And then we'll leave it up to you. You guys can debate it. We leave the truth up to what you want to believe. But out of respect, and I don't know if you guys know this, but I cut 9/11 out of the countdown. That's still a little hot button issue.
Yeah.
Damn.
Good play.
All right.
Lots to talk about there.
There is a lot to talk about, but let's first get into the first one. So number 10, and you guys can feel free to agree with me or not. And should we say this is in a particular order? I don't think it's in an order. I don't even know if you could rate these against each other.
Oh, you
Yeah.
could.
Oh,
So first we have the Malaysian flight. And Casey, if you remember this, we were in Florida during this.
Yeah, we found it stuck in a fence.
No, that was a toy. So this flight,
yeah, I remember that.
this flight disappeared. It was going from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing in March of 2014. There was over 230 people, including the crew, and it vanished. Just went off the radar. And so, yeah.
Did you hear about the supposable communication from that happened like sometime in April?
Oh, what? No.
Oh no. Okay,
yeah.
so
I didn't
apparently
realize
this kid got a phone call from the black box, which is the airplane's way of, communicating and sending messages
Right.
and stuff like that. And so apparently this kid gets a phone call. I don't know the whole story. I just read it and I was like, whatever, that's dumb. And it wasn't like actual like words, but like it was writing a message through like, like Alpha, Omega, those code names, Delta.
Right. And
And so when he put together like the first letters of that phrase, it said something about like send like SOS,
What?
SOS, send help, they're not human.
Holy
And,
shit.
And then later, like, he posted like a recording of his phone and the message on Twitter, and then like a day later his Twitter was deleted
What?
or something like that. And then he was saying that like people were like watching his house and stuff.
No, that's
And-
interesting that you say that, because I have a screenshot here of people saying that they would call their relatives on the phone, like the missing people, and you know how if you call someone and their phone's turned off, it like immediately ends the call.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It would go through and ring like the full 3 or 4 times, and then you could leave a voicemail, like signaling that it was still on.
Dang, that's weird. But yeah, another thing, I don't really remember where this came into play, but it was something about April 18th. Supposedly that was supposed to be like the end of the world, like aliens were gonna come,
Oh
but
my
that didn't
god.
happen. But then I think I read something about how the whole call box thing was like some big hoax or something. I don't know. But that's what I know from the Malaysian flight.
Yeah, people think that it got hijacked because there was, right after it took off, 2 people came up in the airport and said that their passports were stolen, and then those 2 people that stole the passports were on this flight, so they think that it got hijacked.
They were lizard people.
Could have been
Yeah.
lizard people.
Dude,
Yeah,
that's
so
like-
this little screenshot right here basically says that it was going towards Vietnam, and then it just took a sharp turn on the radar, and that's when it turned off everything. So it like veered around, and went off the grid. And now there's a bunch of theories. There's a UFO theory that's pretty fucked. Don Lemon on CNN thought that it was a black hole that took it. I was like, are you serious?
Wait, what?
Wouldn't you
That's
think
CNN
other people
for
would
ya.
see a black hole?
Dude,
Yeah.
if there's a black hole by Earth, wouldn't we
We'd be
all
done
for anyway.
die?
We'd be gone.
It's not like planes fly that high.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. What the?
And then there was a theory that it landed on an island, and they even cited Lost. Like, they think that it's like the episode of Lost where, like, they...
That would be awesome.
That would be
Unless you're
sick.
them, it's horrible.
All the,
No, I'd love to do that if I was like on Lost.
all the time travel and stuff, man.
Be dope. The monster.
And then, yeah, so 4 years later, there's nothing to be found. A bunch of, like, aviation experts came together, and they think that the pilot killed himself, so he basically just took everyone else down with him and just crashed the plane in the ocean.
That's what I think probably would
Jesus.
happen, because it's not like they're gonna land somewhere and people are gonna be like, "Oh,
Right.
like someone would have to see it if they landed it somewhere."
But there was no wreckage anywhere to be found. I mean, I guess it could have sank, but, like, you think you would find, like, a life jacket floating somewhere.
Maybe they crashed in the what is it called? The Mariana
Mariana
Trench.
Trench.
The Hudson.
Come on.
Oh.
So yeah, it's still going up. There's memorials all over the beaches and stuff, and I don't think, I mean, I don't know. If it hasn't been found yet, it's been 4 years, like, who knows? Maybe they hit a
Personally-
wormhole.
Ooh. I don't know. Personally, I think it probably got hijacked and, like you said, took it down in the ocean.
That's what I think. That's the most logical thing. Everything else would be really, really creepy.
Hmm.
Was it near the Bermuda Triangle?
It is. Let me pull up that map again.
I don't even know much about the Bermuda Triangle. I just know it's a
It's,
spooky.
it was right over Vietnam. No, Bermuda Triangle was right by the Bahamas. It's right. Oh,
What if
people think that it
Connor
also
goes-
got shot down, but I don't think it did.
What if Connor goes to the Bahamas sometime and he gets
He finds
he
it.
gets sucked away by the Bermuda Triangle?
I mean,
Never
it's
heard from
kind
him.
of like the same deal as Amelia Earhart.
Oh
No one
yeah.
knows where she
Oh
went.
yeah. It's like a modern day version.
Yeah, it's probably just one of those things that they just won't figure out.
That's wild.
How could this happen?
We
Alright.
could I have a good segue.
Alright.
Maybe all of those player characters were deleted in the simulation.
Oh, hinting at one of the last theories. That
Or
is-
last.
Simulation.
Sorry, carry on.
We can jump to that one, I guess. You say something,
Wait,
Casey?
what is it? Oh no, I was just quoting Rick and Morty. It's
Oh.
a simulation inside a simulation.
Yes, yes.
My bad.
Oh, come on. Alright, the next one is the Deepwater Horizon.
Yeah, I don't know about this.
This one, let me educate you guys. Huh? So, Deepwater Horizon was what eventually led to the BP oil spill. It was the oil rig that blew up. They made a movie about it.
Oh yeah.
And essentially, what they believe is that a group of environmentalists sabotaged it to promote environmentalism, or it was hit by Russian or North Korean submarines and attacked. Apparently 11 people died. I think 17 others were injured. But yeah, this is a pretty wild conspiracy theory. I didn't know about this until we started researching. I think it's insane because they sued BP like $4 billion, and I feel like if BP was innocent, they'd be like, whoa, we just got attacked by a North Korean sub. Why do we need to pay this money?
Yeah, I
Wait.
didn't hear about that.
This screenshot though. Rush Limbaugh is behind all this.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's Rush Limbaugh. So here's a little quick clip.
That massive oil slick now covering some 600 square miles of the Gulf of Mexico, and it could start reaching the United States coast within hours.
So yeah, it led to the BP oil spill cleanup, and they're still recovering.
Jeez.
But
I knew the movie Deepwater Horizon. I didn't know it was actually.
Yeah, it had Mark Wahlberg in it.
I bet that was a good movie.
But I didn't know there was a conspiracy theory behind it, and I don't know how popular this one is. It was just interesting because you don't really think the BP oil spill was an inside job.
Wait, so environmentalists? They think environmentalists caused it?
Yeah, they think that some environmentalist group got their hands on it and wanted to, I guess, target the oil industry.
They destroyed their own thing, though. They destroyed the nature themselves.
They wanted the glory to clean it up.
Oh my god, what if they did?
Now we're talking.
But yeah, so I take it you guys don't believe the whole North Korean sub story?
No. Yeah. North Koreans don't even have cars.
Oh, come on.
So I just created this dope website with Wix.
Alright, so then the next theory, and Casey, I know you know about this one. This is the Bohemian Grove. Now this is pretty weird because politicians have confirmed that this is like a real meeting. They won't say what goes on during it, but they confirm. And even in the newest season of House of Cards, they have a scene where Frank Underwood goes to the Bohemian Grove.
Jeez. I don't know much about it. I know of it, and I know a lot of political figures go there.
Yep.
Like
yeah,
I know,
as much as I know,
George W. Bush was a big play in it.
Richard Nixon.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's creepy. And it's not like something that they're trying to keep a secret, like you said, that they admit to it. And it's just
Richard
weird.
Nixon, this is a quote, he said, "Anyone can be president of the United States, but very few can ever have any hope of becoming president of the Bohemian Club." He hated it. He hated this group, apparently. And, yeah, some 15,000 in number. Their membership is kept secret. It includes super rich, Blood Dynasty, the Illuminati, ooh, little preface, high government officials, and movie stars, Broadway producers, musicians, all that stuff. And then,
what do they do exactly? Is it like a cult?
I'll show you.
That's what I think of it as.
Here's the next one. They said that one time in 1983, Queen Elizabeth showed up. But it's an all-male group, and so they wouldn't give her, like, membership.
I didn't know it was all male.
Yep. And then, yeah, like, there's
Totally
some more
gay.
stuff. Yeah, it's a weird group, man.
Big orgy.
So here's a video of Alex Jones confronting a politician about it, and he acts pretty weird.
Hey David, just really quickly, do you think it's a conflict of interest that you're a part of the Bohemian Grove and also reporting?
No.
Why not? It's a secret society.
Just a quick question. How would you compare this Republican convention thus far to ones in the past? Real quick.
Tonight, the big test.
Okay, that was him dodging the question. That wasn't Alex Jones. That was another person. This one is the Alex Jones one. But that one, he completely disregarded that question. Here's the Alex Jones one.
One last question. I read a Washington Times article many years ago where you had a comment about the organization, and then now it's been in the Wall Street Journal, it's been in a lot of different newspapers, and that's the Bohemian Grove. And back in, 1996, when you joined as a Clinton advisor, the Republicans were criticizing you, oh, what about Bohemian Grove? And then you countered them by saying, hey, I don't run around in the woods naked. What did that mean? Here is the before-mentioned Washington Times article where he said, I didn't run around naked like they do.
I don't know what quote you're referring to. I'm not aware of any quote like that. Listen, I am a happy member of the Bohemian Grove. I like the folks who come there, and it's really inappropriate for me to talk about the group beyond that. Thank you.
Have you been there for the ceremony with the cremation of care?
Frankly, I don't think that's something I need to talk to you about.
Really?
That's right.
Well, I'm Alex Jones, and I snuck in there in 2000. I'm the guy that blew it wide open and got the video. It's been on national TV.
Well, I disrespect you for that.
You do?
I do.
But there's a lot of big public officials going in there. Don't we deserve to know?
You took an. I don't know anything about you, and I don't know anything about your film. But if you go in there with an understanding, you violated that understanding by releasing that film, and I don't respect you for that.
Really? But we have public officials.
I'm sorry. You took an understanding when you went in there that you would not do that film, and did you have an understanding when you went in there?
No.
Did you crash it?
Yes.
Yeah, and it has no trespassing signs there too, doesn't it?
No, they put them up after.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just walked in.
I'm sorry, sir. I've been there before. I know what the circumstances are, and I'm sorry you violated the understandings. That was not a gentlemanly thing to do.
But what about the ritual? Is the ritual gentlemanly?
Sir, everything I don't owe you this comment.
I know. I appreciate it.
This is what's.
So yeah, I think this is one of the creepiest theories because they don't really deny it.
Yeah, it's like it's too public now.
It's like
the guy's getting butthurt.
I didn't know Alex Jones blew it all up in 2000.
Yeah, he snuck in and he recorded that video.
It's awesome.
That whole thing's
Props
weird.
to him.
Let me see here. Yeah, so the Woods is in San Francisco, California. They gather around fires. They sing cult-like songs. And, yeah, popular members were Reagan, Nixon, Bush, international bankers, oil tycoons. And so, yeah, Alex Jones has confronted a few of them. It is quite creepy.
Yeah, I agree.
Anything else you want to add on that one? Anything else you guys have heard?
No. Are there like sacrifices or something?
Yeah, apparently they sacrifice like goats and like they mock. This is what Alex Jones says. So again, we don't endorse any of this stuff, but he claims that they do mock child sacrifices where they don't actually kill the kid, but it's like a full ritual with a kid.
That's pretty wild. Some Old Testament kind of stuff.
Yeah,
That's
the whole
crazy.
thing's weird. So, going to the next theory, which is a little bit more popular. The moon landings being faked. And I'm sure you guys have heard of this.
Now, this is one I don't believe.
Really? Because I don't believe it.
Because back in the day, we didn't have the type of technology to make it. It would have taken more money to film and fake a moon landing than it would to actually go to the moon.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
Oh.
So this first picture right here, they claim that this is the smoking gun because flags aren't supposed to wave in space.
Yeah, you probably put it up like that.
I mean,
So
like,
you
what's
get it
stopping
all-
it from moving, I guess? It'd be like if we were just floating. I don't know. I don't really buy that whole argument.
Yeah, like, how would they have done it? Would there be a fan in the room or something? Like,
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
they said they think that they just did it to bankrupt the Russians, which I don't know. I mean, it did. It ended up bankrupting them, but like Casey said, it would have cost a lot more to produce it than actually do it.
And in that day and age, like, the technology wasn't as good as... I mean, I'm sure someone could pull it off today. Like, make a picture, make it look legit, but back in the day, you know, wasn't really logical.
Yeah, the most they could do, like, with images was, like, doctor them Stalin style. It's like
Yeah.
Photoshop people out and stuff.
And it honestly, if it was fake, it would take one person on their deathbed to say
expose it.
the moon landing was fake, and then they
Right.
would die.
Yeah, I don't buy the whole thing. I think, yeah, you're right. It would have just taken a lot more to cover it up.
So people who do believe this, do they think that we've never been to space, period? Or that we faked the moon landings, but we are now happily in space?
I'm sure they recognize now that we probably made it. Like, you can't fake it now. I mean, there's pretty good proof that we've been there, but I think back then, yeah, they don't believe we. They think we just did it to bankrupt the Soviets.
Okay. I can see that, I guess.
This was hinted at on Rick and Morty too. This little screenshot right here, where they run across the moon and they're like recording it. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, they go into like the president's basement or something.
Yeah.
A set.
So yeah, it's definitely still in pop culture, and I don't know. That's another theory where it's just like all these other ones, well, except for a few of them, but like you would never be able to not prove it or prove it, I guess, to the people that don't want to believe.
Could say that about anything.
So yeah, anything else about the moon? I told you we'd go through these. This is a little surface level. We're only 26 minutes in. You thought we'd run out of time.
I guess this is kind of like a top 10 video, but live.
Watch
Burger King foot lettuce.
Burger King. The biggest conspiracy, #1.
That's number one.
Foot
Alright, this next one is iconic because Alex Jones thinks that the military is turning frogs gay. So enjoy this nice little clip.
If you're a new listener, just type in Pentagon tested gay bomb on Iraq. They didn't consider using it. They've used it on our troops. In Vietnam, they'd spray PCP on the troops, Jacob's Ladder. You think PCP, some horse tranquilizer, something? They got stuff that'll whack your brain permanently. Brain chips in the troops. They give the troops special vaccines that are really nanotech that already re-engineer their brains. Now, there it is, the gay bomb. Look it up for yourself. I mean, this is what they're... What do you think tap water is? It's a gay bomb, baby. And I'm not saying people didn't naturally have homosexual feelings. I'm not even getting into it, quite frankly. I mean, give me a break. You think I am like, oh, shocked by it, so I'm up here bashing it because I don't like gay people? I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Serious crap. I'm sick of being social engineered. It's not funny.
So he completely goes off the rails. He thinks that the military turns soldiers gay. And then
I think
in the end, frogs.
I think Bohemian Grove got to his head.
Yeah, I think Bohemian Grove was when he was onto something, and then he just...
Yeah, now he's just like reaching.
But yeah, I don't even know if this is this is like a one-man conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
I've never heard about this.
Nobody wants to. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Well, what is a gay chemical?
I don't know. Doesn't make sense.
Well, then it ended up catching up to him because he ended up gaining more confidence, getting more crazy, and now he doesn't think that Sandy Hook really happened. He thought Obama just made it up. So now he was sued by an FBI agent and I think 2 parents of the victims.
Jeez.
And so here's a little clip of that little bit.
Sandy Hook families and an FBI agent have filed a defamation lawsuit against Alex Jones and other conspiracy theorists for claiming Sandy Hook was a hoax.
News 8's George Colley live in New Haven Control tonight with the details on that. George.
Well, good evening. Yes, the suit names radio and TV personality Alex Jones, the financial networks that support him, and at least 2 other conspiracy theorists. Now, the suit claims Jones and the other conspiracy theorists waged a years-long campaign of abusive and outrageous false statements, including that the 2012 massacre was staged and the 26 families that lost loved ones.
So yeah, there's that. Did you guys ever see that interview he did with Megyn Kelly, where he went on and told her to his face they didn't think Sandy Hook was real?
No.
Oh, no. Dude, it's still on YouTube. I don't even think that. I think they chose not to release the full thing because he was so like against it. Like they censored some of it.
I feel like he's a troll.
He could be.
His show and stuff.
Yeah, he's a meme personality now. Nobody takes him seriously.
He even says he loves memes. Maybe not like, you know, memes that we share and stuff, but he loves like the idea.
Yeah, and I don't.
Sense.
He thinks that there's crisis actors, so like in every shooting, they use the same person to act like a victim across America.
I believe that. There's one theory that I'd rather...
What, you believe that?
Oh yeah, I don't joke when I say that.
You believe in crisis actors?
Oh, easily, dude. They're real.
Like who? Like who would you name one as? Or can you?
I can't name one, but you see them.
Well, I know that the what's that one kid's name? He's always on Twitter. David Hogg. Alex Jones thinks that David Hogg is a crisis actor.
Oh, is he the one in charge of? He's like leading the whole.
Yeah, he was from the Stoneman major high school shooting down in Florida.
Oh, dude, you see, honestly, I could believe that. But let's not go there.
Jeez, we said we weren't endorsing it.
Maybe another time. It's not a part of our top 10 list, is it?
All right, and then for number 5, we haven't even been counting down. This is the 5th one, though. This is everyone knows this one. We don't even need to explain this one. Area 51.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
So this is the base itself, out in Nevada, and it looks like a normal military base. And the funniest thing, this is what I always find hilarious, is that people on YouTube, and I've watched a few of these videos, will go into like the border or the perimeter of the area and walk on it, and then they're surprised when guards come out. They think it's a conspiracy, like they're hiding something. If you walk on any military base in this country, you're going to get confronted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They think they're just hiding aliens in there because they're walking around on testing grounds. Yeah, that would happen in any state.
Maybe that's a cover.
Even if, do you know how much of like a tourist attraction it is now? Like, let's see here. Yeah, they have signs up now that says Alien Research Center, Museum, Gift Shop, Area 51 Souvenirs. Like that environment, that area now feeds off of this like idea system. So if the government was hiding stuff there, they would move it by now.
Yeah, that is true. Unless it's rooted into the ground.
Whoa.
It's an underground specimen.
Here's a theory photo here that's clearly not doctored at all. Here we see what's probably was at a time an actual guard standing next to a truck, or it's probably a cactus. But they make it seem like it's an alien sitting next to it. So I don't know. Or they're just pointing out the truck. Maybe I'm thinking it's an alien. Maybe I am buying into the theory.
Maybe.
So the creepiest thing that I wanted to show, and this doesn't start for like 40 seconds in, so we can talk before this, but to preface this, there was a man, and it's doing this right now, but there was a man that called into a radio station.
Oh, I've heard about this.
Yep, hosted by a man named Art, and this man claimed to be an Area 51 employee that was just recently medically discharged. So he called in, and apparently in this clip, he exposes Area 51, and people think that it's real, some people think it's fake, some people think he was an actor. Crisis actor, Jacob.
Ooh.
But you will be the judge. So let's listen to this and let's decide after.
Online, you're on the air. Hello.
Hello, Art.
Yes.
Hi. I don't have a whole lot of time.
Well, look, let's begin by finding out whether you're using this line properly or not.
Area 51.
Yeah, that's right. Were you an employee or are you now?
I'm a former employee.
Former employee.
I was let go on a medical discharge about a week ago, and I've kind of been running across the country. Oh man, I don't know where to start. They're gonna they'll triangulate on this position really soon.
So you can't spend a lot of time on the phone. So give us something quick.
Okay. Okay. What we're thinking of as aliens, Art, they're extra-dimensional beings that an earlier precursor of the space program made contact with. they are not what they claim to be. They have infiltrated a lot of aspects of the military establishment, particularly the Area 51. The disasters that are coming, the military, I'm sorry, the government knows about them, and there's a lot of safe areas in this world that they could begin moving the population to now, Art.
So yeah, it's a weird call. There's not much.
That is going to mess with me for a while.
I should have warned you. But he thinks that the aliens have infiltrated our military.
I'll have to do some more research on that on my own. I wonder if there's I wonder if it's already been debunked or something.
I know the radio host ended up dying like 4 years after, but I think it was natural causes. Natural causes. Nah. I don't know. I don't buy the whole military being in aliens' grasp. Like, there would be someone that would leak it. There'd be a Snowden or something.
Yeah.
True.
So, it is chilling, though. I don't know when that was recorded. It was years ago. But, yeah, anyone else heard any spooky Area 51 stories or theories?
I was going to say that, but you already had that up.
Oh,
that
the phone
recording. Call? Yeah.
I thought the phone call is weird in that he specifically calls them extra-dimensional beings. That's something I've not heard about Area 51 before.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that'd be... Yeah, he doesn't really call them, like, aliens or extraterrestrial. He's saying these things are on a whole nother plane.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll keep you up at night.
A whole nother plane, you say?
We already covered that. Oh, that does remind me. One thing that we didn't include was chemtrails, but a lot of people believe in that.
Yeah.
Don't breathe the air.
I'm thinking about like Gabe Newell parody.
Chemtrails ramping. Oh wait, no, that's microwaves ramping through the air.
So
chemtrails, drones, any of that shit.
Yeah, people believe in drones too. That one could be real. Who knows?
I believe in. Wait, what do you mean?
Like they think that drones monitor the U.S. like domestically, which I think has actually been confirmed. That's all right though. Here's the next theory. Let's get off this.
The Google Maps trucks.
Okay, yeah, dude. I was playing around with that yesterday at work. You can see anywhere you want in the world, except for North Korea. I tried to look at North Korea. You can't see anything there. You can see anywhere else, though. I was in Ukraine, going down a road.
Yeah, dude. I read a story. It was on a Reddit thread the other day. And the guy said he was just playing around on Google Maps. And he just randomly stumbled upon, like, this girl. And he was able to smack one out. Google Maps image.
They blur their face. I've noticed that too. Is that all the people that go through and they blur the faces? Hey, you know, who knows? Content.
Did you go to our houses?
I found out where I looked at where Case was going. I was going through like a virtual tour, and then I went to Alcatraz and I got a virtual tour all on Google Maps. You don't have to pay to go to see Alcatraz anymore. You just type in Google Maps / Cosmic Closet and you can see everything.
Google, if you're hearing this.
So the next theory is the famous JFK assassination, and I'm sure you've heard of this. So, here's a short little clip for those who don't know, which would be very surprising.
Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
And by all NBC stations, a hotline bulletin in 10 seconds.
Several shots were fired as President Kennedy's motorcade passed through downtown Dallas. The crowd screamed and lay down on the grass as the motorcade went by. It was not known if the shots were aimed at the president. Repeat, it is not known if the shots were aimed at the president.
Here is a flash from the Associated Press, Dateline Dallas. 2 priests who were with President Kennedy say he is dead of bullet wounds.
White House Press Secretary Malcolm Kilduff has just announced that President Kennedy died at approximately 1 o'clock Central Standard Time.
He died of a gunshot wound in the brain.
After being shot at.
After being.
So yeah, there was the news coverage of that. He was in Dallas and he was shot and killed in a motorcade, but there's multiple theories. There is a theory that the CIA did it. There's a theory that his vice president, Lyndon Johnson, organized it. There's a theory that the KGB did it. And people think the mafia did it because JFK appointed his brother as attorney general, and his brother started cracking down on the mob a lot. So they think that he killed the president to get back at the brother.
Hmm.
No, go ahead.
Do you believe in the grassy knoll killers?
Oh, I've heard there was a book about that. I looked at it while I was looking at this. I don't know what it is though. No.
Basically, I don't really know much. I just think the premise is just that there are these 2 figures by the near the car when the shooting occurred, and I don't know. I guess they just look suspicious. I'm sure there's more to it than that, but they're standing on the grassy knoll.
Yeah.
They look kind of like Klansmen, dude.
There's a lot of witness testimony that was denied. And actually, here's a screenshot right here. This one girl, well, I'll move it down a little bit. This one girl, that's the wrong one. Here it is. This one girl said that she captured photographs of the assassination. She was like there recording, and 2 men claimed to be FBI or Secret Service and wanted to use the footage for like evidence or for a book or something. And they said that they would return it to her within 10 days, but then they never brought it back. She lost the footage.
It's weird.
And apparently there was reports of other people's cameras being taken like that day by police, like right after it happened. Which I don't. It was a different time. Maybe that was standard.
Did you hear? Have you heard about the Lincoln and Kennedy connection thing?
Oh, I've seen a poster of it, but yeah, I don't know it.
I have it right here.
weird.
If you guys wanna
Read off a few, huh?
Okay, so Lincoln was elected in Congress 1846. Kennedy was elected in 1946. He was elected president in 1960, and same with 1860, and Kennedy was 1960. Anyway, his wife lost a child while living in the White House. Lincoln and Kennedy both had that in common. He was directly concerned with civil rights, same with Kennedy and Lincoln. Lincoln had a secretary named Kennedy who told him not to go to the theater. Kennedy had a secretary named Lincoln who told him not to go to Dallas. God. Lincoln was shot in the back of the head in the presence of his wife. Kennedy was shot in the back of the head in the presence of his wife. Lincoln shot in the Ford Theater. Kennedy shot in a Lincoln made by Ford. He was shot on Friday. Kennedy was shot on Friday. This is where it gets weird. The assassin, John Wilkes Booth, was known by 3 names, comprised of 15 letters. The assassin, Lee Harvey Oswald, was known by the 3 names, comprised of 15 letters.
Oh my God.
Booth shot Lincoln in a theater and fled to a warehouse. Oswald shot Kennedy from a warehouse and fled to a theater.
It's insane.
Booth was killed before being brought to trial. Oswald was killed before being brought to trial.
Oh, I have that clip. That's I want you guys to see that. But yeah, I've heard that. Like they have posters of that.
Yeah.
It just all points to the simulation. They just reprogrammed a few character names.
Yeah, I was about to mention that.
It all points to the simulation theory. So yeah, here's the clip of Oswald. This is where it's like, all right, they got the gunman. He's guilty. No. Someone else has to come out of the crowd now and kill him, so he doesn't talk. This is where it gets a little hairy. Why did they have to kill this guy? Here's the clip.
Here he comes. Now the prisoner, one of the white spotter is changed from his t-shirt.
Let me have it. I want it.
Being let out by Captain Fritz. There is the prisoner.
There is Leon. He's been shot. He's been shot. Lee Oswald has been shot. There's a man with a gun. Absolute panic. Absolute panic here in the basement of Dallas Police Headquarters. The detectives have their guns drawn. There is no question about it. Oswald has been shot at point-blank range, fired into his stomach.
He is shot. He is shot. Oswald. It is Oswald. You're...
So yeah, he was shot and he died. And there ended up being a Warren Council in the government, and they ruled that Harvey Oswald was the assassin, but there was no one to bring to trial.
Grassy knoll.
Jack Ruby was if I remember right, Jack Ruby was a nightclub owner, and I think he later came out and said that he was pressured, like he had mob ties. Don't quote me on that. But I've heard that. So that's interesting. Who knows?
Do you think there's any spooky implications for Jackie Kennedy to keep her clothing from that day in a museum until she dies?
It's like it's supposed to be released soon, isn't it? Or did it get released?
Oh wait, was it till she dies, or was
I think
it
it's
like
50 years after her death.
50, okay.
Which it's soon.
After her death?
I know what you're talking about. They're releasing it, but yeah, I don't know when. I think there could be something because it still has his blood on it.
Yeah. What if they find like? Oh, dude! What if 50 years was like the half-life of like particles from the weapon? And after the 50 years, they'll have decayed, and we'll never find out.
The whole thing is she actually was helping cover it up. Dude, no, the whole thing, the actual video too, she reaches in the back after he gets shot and picks up a piece of his brain. Can you imagine that dude going through that?
No, that's messed up.
That'd be like if your wife was riding next to you and she just gets her head just blown off, basically. And the first thing you think about is to pick up is like, she said why. I think she wanted to keep it together, which is smart. I mean,
yeah.
But like to think like that fast, like, oh, I need to get his brain. Like, it's just wild. Good on her part. I mean,
I don't know. I kind of see that, like, seeing their head wide open. You want to just put them back together. Like, this isn't happening.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. You could say that.
I don't know.
There's that. Oh, and then there was something Trump wanted to release the documents, but then they ended up keeping some of them for security purposes. That's where it gets a little bit fishy for me too. They want to not release them because they think it'll be a security threat. So what does that mean? What do those documents say?
Yeah. I don't know.
That whole thing.
Make it hard to trust the government, dude.
I don't know. Back then it was a different time. Who knows? I think some people thought that Kennedy was, like, his Cold War tactics were pushing us to a nuclear war. So they just wanted to take him out. All right. Theory number 3 is the Illuminati. Everyone's heard of this. People think that Jay-Z and Beyonce are in it.
Pretty much any famous artist.
Except Kanye, because he is a free thinker.
He will take down the Illuminati himself.
Yes. But yeah, it's the idea that there's a new world order, and they pick presidents. People think that Hillary Clinton's in it. People think that Jimmy Kimmel is in it, which Jimmy Kimmel, you can make a case. He's a weird guy.
Yeah, he pretty much rules YouTube.
Yeah, that thing's weird.
I believe this. I mean, like, I know it's a meme and stuff. People say it all the time, but if you think about it, I think it's real. Like Bohemian Grove, all those.
Yeah.
Those are the types of people who would be the Illuminati.
Yeah, the Illuminati. Yep.
I watched supposedly, I don't know if this video was fake. It probably could have been, but it was a video on YouTube that was recently uploaded, and it was like trending, and then I went back to it like later, like a week ago, like the next week, and it was taken down, and it was of this guy saying like he was in the Illuminati, like he was some sort of stockbroker, and they asked him like to be in the Illuminati, a part of it, the secret society, and he kind of whistle blew it all and made like a YouTube video of just his voice, but like he automated his voice, so like they didn't know really who he was.
Oh, Jeff from Peru, welcome to the stream. Make sure to hit the like and the sub if you're enjoying.
Oh, he's from Peru. That's cool.
Maybe he's buying into these theories. We have an outside source now.
Yeah.
I wonder if there are any Peru conspiracy theories.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some. The Illuminati's supposed to rule the whole world, so they'd be ruling Peru too.
Yeah, I think these types of people are behind like wars and everything. Certain events.
I've heard
Warren from, I don't know, perhaps 17 years ago.
They said that it started out as the Freemasons.
Yeah.
I heard
17 years ago.
17.
Come on.
Anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
So I was gonna say that now the Illuminati's been decimated to Taco Bell ads. I have the commercial right here where they're poking fun at it.
Oh yeah.
Taco Bell, like
this might be a
are all these layers of
backpedaling now. Like, Illuminati, we don't exist.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, what if they're just...
The answer is yes.
They say Bell Illuminati. Come on. You're not tricking anyone. But yeah, that's just... The whole thing's weird. And there's an alien at the table, so maybe the aliens do have a hand in it.
It's pretty funny. Funny video.
Who else have they said has been in the Illuminati? I know Jay-Z's one of the like weirdest ones. Like, what?
If you look up Illuminati artists on images, they all do the cover up of one eye, or they'll do like a triangle hand thing. Like, you can literally look this up, and it'll bring up a whole bunch of pictures of artists that done it. Like, it's not a coincidence. Yeah.
I know. Doesn't LeBron do that, or he used to do that? Yeah, the hand thing.
The triangle.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, it's insane the amount of pretty much anyone who has fame, and you know, like you'll hear of some artists that are really small and then all of a sudden blow up big, especially like in music. It's because of the Illuminati, pretty much, like contract and it's all that stuff.
Jeez.
I heard Warren Buffett is
I've heard that, yeah.
A part of the drug trade and drug war and stuff.
I know. I don't know, but I believe like J.P. Morgan and John D. Rockefeller were part of the New World Order back in those days. They like ruled everything.
Yeah, they said that the Illuminati started out as the Freemasons. Like,
Yeah,
that's
I
where it
believe
got the
that.
roots.
I can see that happening too.
It's the same symbol.
I've watched so much stuff over the Freemasons. I was like I was like a Freemason conspiracy theorist when I was like 12.
Oh, they were real. It's just that they're still around now. It was a real thing.
They and the little ceremonies, or not ceremonies, meetings and stuff, like, people don't know what goes on in
Yeah,
those
you have
meetings.
to be the 33rd degree Freemasons are the ones that rule everything.
Yeah.
Disney was one of them.
Oh, I could see Disney, dude. They're buying up everything right now. They definitely rule everything.
I meant yeah, but I meant Walt Disney.
Yeah. Hey, didn't he freeze himself?
I think I heard something about that.
He's like cryogenically frozen.
That's weird.
I think they said,
did he die and then they froze his body?
I think they froze him. He might have died, but they said to unfreeze him when they find a cure for cancer.
You can't survive being frozen.
Yeah, I don't know when he died. I feel like the cryogenics back then shouldn't be what they were like today.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the Illuminati. Theory number 2. Flat Earth. This one shouldn't even be a theory. This is like a, I don't know, a dumb idea. That's what it should be called.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
dumb
is
idea
like,
theory.
I can't believe this is believed. Like,
yeah, it's
ironically.
There's an official society for it, the Flat Earth Society, founded in 1956. Like, what the hell? What is this?
You should put a picture of Asgard on it.
That's what they wanted to be. But okay, so this is how they think that the day progresses. The sun and the moon. They think it just circles around above the flat surface, kind of like in a baby's crib, the little mobile thing. I think that's what the Earth and that's what they think the moon and the sun are doing.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Wait, how does it go from one end of the Earth to the other?
The sun's so big too. It's bigger than the Earth. Well, I guess if they
wouldn't you
think
be able to
it's
see the
flat.
sun across if it was flat? You'd be able to still see it.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, flat earthers just think like based on visuals. Like they're like, you see the horizon? It's flat. You don't see a curve. Oh, you see that tall skyscraper? It's not tilted. It's standing straight.
It's
like
true.
they don't understand how big the Earth is that you can't see.
They think the government's lying. Why would the government even lie that our planet's flat? Like, what do they gain from that?
Yeah.
Let's not tell our civilians that the Earth is flat so they don't jump off the side. I don't know.
It's
Who knows?
Weird.
Yeah, we would have found the edge of the Earth already. Like, people believed it back then, and then they would explore, and then we're at the point now where we've already explored everything, and it's fact that it's round. Like,
yeah.
We figured this out hundreds of years ago.
If you go up into an airplane, you can see that it's round.
Yeah.
Do you know B.O.B. believes in this?
Who's that?
B.O.B.
I don't know who that is.
The guy who sings,
He's a rapper or something? Or?
Yeah, he's a rapper. You don't know B.O.B.?
Maybe I've heard of him.
B.O.B. It sings airplanes.
Oh, yeah.
That guy, he's a flat earther.
Oh
he made like a song about it too. Like
Airplanes
not like an
was the
actual
song.
release song, but
Oh man, that's something.
It's
That takes
embarrassing.
quite a person.
It does.
So yeah, that's flat Earth. There's not much you can say because there's so much evidence against it. It shouldn't be a theory. We shouldn't even have it up here. We're encouraging it.
It should have been number one as a meme.
It is. Everything goes to number one though, dude. So number one, without further ado, everything leads into this. It is that we are in a simulation. And well, I'm not going to say if I endorse this or not. But what happens nowadays makes it seem quite possible. And there are intellectuals that think the same thing too. Elon Musk and Neil Tyson think that we're in a simulation. Did you know that, Casey?
I didn't.
Here is a quick clip of Tyson explaining why.
Like Mr. Musk thinks, are we living in simulation?
I find it hard to argue against that possibility.
Meaning?
Meaning, you look at our computing power today, and you say, I have the power to program a world inside of a computer. Well, imagine in the future where you have even more power than that, and you can create characters that have, for example, free will, or their own perception of free will. So this is a world, and I program in the laws that govern that world. That world will have its own laws of physics and chemistry and biology. Now you're a character in that world and you think you have free will, and you say, I want to invent a computer, so you do. Hey, I want to create a world in my computer. And then that world creates a world in its computer. And then you have simulations all the way down. So now you lay out all these universes and throw a dart. Which of these universes are you most likely to hit? The original one that started it, or the countless simulations, the daughter simulations that unfolded thereafter? You're going to hit one of the simulations. So statistically, based on that argument, which first appeared by a philosopher from Oxford named Nick Bostrom back in the 1990s, right when computers were becoming real enough to think this through, it's hard to argue against the possibility that all of us are not just the creation of some kid in a parent's basement programming up a world for their own entertainment. And then
so there we go, a kid programming a world for his own entertainment. Can you imagine if that, we would never know, but is that what our life is?
I think I joke when I say this all the time, but to a certain degree, I think it's a long game of Civ.
Yeah, dude.
And I was about to say, what if, like, is somebody watching over us still, like, after thousands of years? But then I thought, if it's a game of Civ, maybe we were just running on quick play, and time goes differently for that watch us.
That's what there's like. What if we're a game of Civ, and then when we play a game of Civ, that's another group of people.
Yeah,
the whole that's what they're getting at. Or if you've seen the Rick and Morty episode where they go to a universe, and then that universe created a universe, and then they just go through those levels.
We're just a bunch of workers on autoplay.
And I think he's right. I think there's people that are put into the game to shake things up. Musk is leading us into the future. You get people like Tyson.
They're like great prophets and great scientists.
You got Trump
out of nowhere.
Nobody thought he'd get elected. Trump rises up. It was already a business mogul, but maybe Jesus was just like, what would Jesus be in a simulation? Would he be in, like, I don't know.
He'd be the first great prophet you get.
He's the first one.
You can start your own religion.
Casey, do you believe this?
No.
What the hell?
I don't.
Do you believe in the multiverse?
Multiverse?
Yeah.
I don't really understand.
Basically, like, there's infinitely many universes just like this one.
A part of me believes that there's possibly other worlds, but I don't know. It just, my mind can't really even think about it.
Oh yeah, dude. Every time you think about it, it's like an existential crisis.
It makes you feel small.
Yeah.
We're tiny, dude.
Dude, the sea, the ocean, to us, we're like an ocean to space. And space is an ocean to something else.
We're not even a speck of dust. We're like dust on dust. I don't even know. We're smaller than that. We're like a cell on a tick.
Yeah, but then it gets smaller than that, which is just insane. That's what infinity is.
Oh man, we're getting too sad. We got it. This is supposed to be a celebratory episode. We're 10 episodes in.
Do you know what an infinitesimal is?
No.
This is like kind of relevant, and I don't even know much about it. I just was reading something. Basically, it's like lowest you can get to 0, between 0 and 1. Lowest you can get to 0 without being 0 is like considered an infinitesimal.
What?
So that's what a nucleus would be. Anything smaller than that, I guess, like an atom. Whereas like an infinitesimal that's close to 1 without being 1 would be like infinity. Who knows how big that is?
We're just tiny. Well,
I have some honorable mentions.
All right, let's hear 'em.
You hear about the Colorado airport?
Oh, the Denver airport? Yeah.
Yes.
I was gonna put that on.
Yeah, how it's the runways are shaped like a swastika. It's the most expensive airport in the U.S.
Yeah, he's right.
Not that I mean, it's big, but like people think that most of the money went to underground, something down there. There's Freemason symbols throughout the airport, and a whole bunch of disturbing paintings. And then at the front of the entrance, there's a statue of a demonic horse.
Oh my God.
I gotta see this shit.
Yeah, wait, yeah, look it up. I've seen it before. Isn't it like a gray horse? It's like massive.
It's like I forget what it is.
I know what you're talking. If Jacob, type in aerial photo and it'll point out like the swastika.
It has, at night, the eyes of the horse glow red.
I think I've seen this before during my Freemason.
During your National Treasure days.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen this. This is awesome.
Yeah, we could have put we could say that one. We could put that into our urban legends episode, huh?
Dude, there's weird Google Earth stuff all over the world. Before, like, I know stuff can be photoshopped, but there's stuff you can actually find. I found them myself.
Jesus. A UFO.
Like, I didn't discover them myself. I just
You're posting them on Reddit.
Yeah, no. There's well-known spots you can find yourself.
Another honorable mention.
Yeah, what would be another one?
The HARP transmitter.
What's that?
Where did the microwaves come from?
The HARP transmitter, of course. No, this is actually something that people believe in. It's some sort of machine that is controlled by the Illuminati to make weather.
Wow.
Like tsunamis, like natural disasters.
Damn.
I can see that being real.
Weather machine.
But that'd be kind of hard to like. How
what would it look like?
That? Here, let's see if
leaf blower.
Yeah, I'm trying to look that up too. I've never seen what it looks like. Does it exist?
Spelled with 2 A's. Wait a minute. I don't want this.
So it was the HARP?
Spelled with 2 A's.
Sheesh. I'm trying to think of some more honorable mentions and more creepy ones that I've heard of.
Whoa, I see a headline and it says, HARP schedules first experiments since United States Air Force takeover.
What the hell?
My God.
What if that's why we had such a bad hurricane season last year?
Yeah, the freaking military owns it.
Yeah, I don't know much.
And you know who's in the military? dimensional beings.
Dimensional. That's the word of the day. That phone call, it'll keep you up at night.
Dude, you know another thing I was obsessed with when I was 12?
What?
Slender Man.
I was gonna put
videos.
him in. We could put him in the Urban Legends ones. It's like a meme.
I didn't even find out about Slenderman until I was like in middle school or freshman.
I forget where I learned about it. It wasn't the Slender game.
No, yeah,
It was Marble Hornets.
Yeah.
Marble Hornets, dude. That was amazing. Too bad it's all fake. I'll never forgive them for that.
Connor believes in the SCP theory that we have a facility in the houses.
Dude, I can get behind that.
That's probably true.
Maybe not like powerful, beings, but maybe like weird creatures. They're like one of a kind.
Oh yeah, I think there's definitely some weird things. I don't know if we captured them. I feel like they'd be leaked, but who knows?
I'm gonna try to find the Slender Man video. It was my favorite. It had music from something. It's something Connor's played for us before.
Should we do the outro?
Yeah. Roll the outro.
Well, everyone, that has been another successful episode of the Cosmic Closet Podcast Conspiracies episode. Number 10. Number 10. We made it to number 10. Conspiracy is that we're still around. Maybe we won't make it after this episode. We leaked everything.
We died 2 days later.
Nah. Like we said, we don't know if these are real. We don't endorse them. We definitely don't endorse Flat Earth.
Nope.
If you endorse Flat Earth, unsubscribe. But yeah. Here's to 10 more episodes. And yeah, you guys have anything to outro with?
Sorry, there's no Connor's Critter Corner.
Yeah, Connor's Critter Corner was canceled today. He had a critter get loose. He had to capture him, so he'll be on. He'll be on next episode.
We could mention Mothman.
No, Connor wants to do an urban legend. That's our next episode, Urban Legends.
Oh, I was gonna say since it's a critter and a
spook. Some say Connor is Mothman. All right, we will catch you on the next episode of the Cosmic Closet Podcast. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.